Welcome back to the moral decay of America. If you hadn't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that. But let's look on the screen right here what the state of Oregon is saying. Here it is right here. Oregon, again, says students don't need to prove mastery of reading, writing, or math to graduate from high school, citing that it harms students of color. Well, I think we all kind of know where this is going, but at the end of the day, this is a very PC way of saying people of color are dumb as hell. Just come out and say it. If you don't want the people of color, whomever that may include or incorporate, to demonstrate that they have minimal knowledge and skills before they go out into society and become productive citizens, then why send them to school at all? If you're not going to teach them these fundamental things, then why even send them to school? Why are the people paying for teachers and taxes for all of these buildings and educational tools and stuff if we're not going to demonstrate to their parents, first and foremost, to each other, second and foremost, and to every other productive member of society that these goobers can read, write, and conduct simple mathematic equations? Then why go to school at all? What are you teaching them then? Physics has math, reading, and writing. All of the sciences have some form of math, reading, and science built into it. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why or how parents are okay with this. This is what they voted for crying out loud. Are you kidding me? Hey, Junior, guess what? You don't have to prove that you know how to do math. What do you want the kid to do then? Hey, Junior, you don't have to understand or be able to read or write the English language. What do you want him to do? You have to be able to do that to go do, can I take your order, please? You got to be able to read what's on the buttons. You got to be able to read what's on the labels. I mean, heaven forbid that they have to put a resume together and go improve themselves somewhere. Are you literally, Oregon, saying that you only want your children now today to do menial jobs because the people of color are being harmed, having to prove that they know these minimal things about life? The furthermore down here is the claim that this is inappropriate on how to use these assessments. Right here. The only thing we are suspending is the inappropriate use of how those assessments will or were being used. I think that's really in the best interest of the Oregon students. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Here you can see the governor signed a bill freezing the proficiency requirement as its standardized tests weren't happening amid school closures. Lawmakers decided to order a more comprehensive review of graduation requirements. It blows my brain that they are completely saying that none of these requirements worked. What they were designed to do is protect student interest. We have no evidence that that was accomplished. Again, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. How can you not have academic standards and how people are measuring up to them? Hey, this is not just a student thing. This is also a teacher thing. And this is why I despise teachers' unions. For crying out loud. Now you don't want anybody verifying how you're not educating children and just letting them pass through. I just don't get it. but you want to be paid for that. Don't get me on that soapbox about teachers. A lot of them just freaking disgust me, to say the least. But at the end of the day, this denied those students the opportunity to take an elective despite the lack of evidence that extra academic work helped them in the workplace or at college, they said. Higher rates of students of color, student learning English as a second language, and students with disabilities ended up having to take intensive senior year writing and math classes to prove they deserved a diploma. Well, that's what this whole thing's about. You don't deserve a diploma. You can't prove it. You're not willing to prove it, and now we're not even requiring you to approve it. So where's the failure? Is it the parents? Is it the student? Or is it the educators? Or perhaps it's all three. I don't know. But when you take away the requirements to demonstrate that, yeah, you can read and write and do math, and it's no longer a requirement, then I don't see why sending children to school anymore. I guess this is the nice way of saying you color folks can't learn. You people of color can't learn because you may be offended or harmed. Right there, it says harm. Right there. Harm to students of color. Where did they come up with this shit at? All of you people out there that are watching this video, I'd like to know how you are being harmed by showing a mastery of reading, writing, or math. How are you being harmed? I'd love to know that. Until someone can convince me that you're being harmed, this, my friends, is part of the moral decay of America. Hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate it. Love to see your comments down below.